How's it going, everyone? My name is Elijah King, and this is my weekly holiday wrap-up video for December 28th to January 4th. Now, right off the bat, you're probably noticing that this video is not uploaded on December 28th. Since December is coming to an end, and is theoretically the month of stress-free family fun, I decided to spend the holidays with my family, having stress-free family fun. Actually, it was fun. We got to celebrate things like National Eggnog Day and National Vodka Day. And then we celebrated National Vodka Day and National Vodka Day, which I thought was weird because National Vodka Day is in October. But sometime after the 5th National Vodka Day, I blacked out and lost a couple days. I'm not blaming the vodka though. I probably just fell asleep after eating too much turkey. I didn't know you could marinate a turkey in vodka. In conclusion, that's why the video is late. But now I'm awake and mostly sober, so let's go. If you saw my last video, you'll know that December 28th is National Card Playing Day and National Chocolate Candy Day. Last week I wasn't too sure why we needed National Chocolate Candy Day. Then there was Christmas and my eyes were opened. I got so many different chocolate candies, and I'm pretty open about the fact that I don't really like chocolate unless it's something like chocolate liqueur. I'm more of an alco than a chocoholic. But everywhere I looked was different chocolate candies. And now I know why we celebrate National Chocolate Candy Day shortly after Christmas. If you wake up and find yourself feeling like P. Diddy, it must be December 29th, also known as TikTok Day. If you're unsure what it means to wake up feeling like P. Diddy, Kesha clarified that it means to wake up in a bed surrounded by a lot of women. So it can either be a good thing or a bad thing, or just confusing. I thought Kesha would be too hungover to notice if anyone was in her bed or not, but I guess I was wrong. Besides brushing your teeth with a bottle of Jack, TikTok Day is celebrated by making sure you fulfilled your New Year's resolutions for the previous year, as well as planning out the New Year's resolutions for the next year. This can be hard to celebrate because I'm pretty sure that everyone forgets what their resolution was by the second week of February. If you can't remember what your resolution was, you can spend the rest of your day getting pedicures, trying on clothes, and trying to hook up with someone who looks like Mick Jagger. Personally, I've never found Mick Jagger to be attractive, but I've never partied as hard as Kesha. But let's talk about something else that has a huge cult following, like Kesha. Something that is in your face, to the point that you might be sick of hearing about it, like Kesha. Something that is fried, occasionally baked, and commonly seen with grills, like Kesha. Something that has decent pop with the occasional sizzle, like Kesha. Okay, a lot of sizzle, like Kesha. Something that is maybe kind of greasy, like Kesha. And something that is associated with alcohol, like Kesha. I'm talking about bacon because December 30th is Bacon Day. And if you're wondering what bacon and alcohol have to do with one another, you can now buy bacon-flavored vodka. I found a bottle of it recently, but I didn't buy it because I had enough of bacon and alcohol together when I recently drank a Bloody Mary that had a strip of bacon in it. This wasn't something I created in a drunken stupor or the result of some sort of accident. No, this was something I saw on a menu, ordered, and paid for. And it's not surprising that people put bacon and alcohol together because people put bacon with everything. And I'm not just talking burgers and asparagus. There are bacon candy canes, bacon bandages, bacon toys. If there's something out there, there's probably a bacon version of it. It's essentially following Rule 34. In fact, if you do a web search for bacon and Rule 34, you'll probably find a lot of stuff. But make sure you're on your own when you do that, and be sure to clear your history afterwards, unless you want to have very unusual discussion. December 30th is also the festival of enormous changes at the last minute. Speaking of which, can we pause filming for a second? There we go. With New Year's coming up, this hat works a lot better, although I don't really think that counts as an enormous change. The festival of enormous changes at the last minute is meant to give you a chance to organize everything you planned out on TikTok Day. For example, if your New Year's resolution is to go to the gym every week, you might go get a gym membership. Or, if you're starting a new diet for the new year, you might eat all the ice cream in your freezer so it's not there to tempt you. And since this is a festival, maybe you should invite your friends and neighbors over to help you eat it. If that is the case, I sincerely hope that we are friends. I'm gonna be honest, besides the possibility of ice cream, this is not the ideal festival for me. I don't like change, especially if it's enormous. The only change I like is a handful of money. In that case, it would actually be better if it's enormous. But I especially don't like enormous changes at the last minute. That's why my resolution this year doesn't involve any big changes. My resolution this year is to make sure I get my videos up on time. Maybe that is a big change. Hopefully I don't forget about it by the second week of February. And of course, on December 31st we have New Year's Eve, and if you don't have your resolution by now, I don't feel sympathy for you after you had 3 days to get ready for it. Although if you're not planning on making a resolution this year, I'm jealous of you because you're probably really satisfied with the way your life is. If you have made all your resolution preparations in the last couple days, or if you're not making any this year, that means you can spend the rest of the year partying. And while you're partying and drinking on New Year's Eve, remember that December 31st is also National Champagne Day. That means if you're going to be partying that night like everyone else in the world except for me because I work until 2 in the morning, you're going to want to bring 2 bottles of champagne. One that you can drink on the 31st and one you can open up right after midnight. But maybe you should bring a couple extra just in case you drink them both before midnight. But if you get to this point of the night and suddenly need a resolution for the new year, don't worry. After drinking a few bottles of champagne, you'll find that you get really inspired for the new year. You'll also find that you're burping a lot after all the carbonation. But after you drink a few bottles of champagne, you'll find that you get a whole lot of ideas for what you want to do in the New Year's, although a lot of them might be far-fetched. I'm gonna learn a minimum of 3 languages while I train for a marathon, and also rehabilitate an ex-fighting dog. And after ingesting an ample amount of alcohol to inspire adequate annual aspirations, say that 5 times fast, you can go around to everyone else at the party telling them the difference between sparkling wine and champagne. If it's not from champagne, it's just a sham. And after all that, we come to January 1st. That means you've made it through another year, which is reason enough to celebrate. And hopefully your celebrations aren't interrupted by your hangover, who is like the worst party guest ever. I didn't know what to bring, so I brought a throbbing headache and a combination of cravings and nausea. But after your hangover is hung, you're ready to start working on the resolutions you made last night. At which point you'll realize how difficult they'll actually be. It's not as difficult as remembering to write 2015 on all your checks, but still, pretty difficult. Well, I know I said I was going to start running today, but I forgot that there was snow on the ground. I don't want to slip and hurt my ankle because then I couldn't run. I guess I could use the treadmills at the gym, but they're probably really busy today. Maybe I'll just walk in place while I watch TV. But then when you turn on the TV, you find out that it's an episode you haven't seen yet, so instead you decide to walk in place while you make supper so you don't interrupt the plot. Then later that night, you order Chinese food because you find out that you ate all your food when you're dealing with your hangover. And before you know it, you come to the second week in February and you're returning your running shoes that you never wore. But the store won't take them back because they were ripped apart by the ex-fighting dog that you tried to rehabilitate. But hopefully these are things you would have planned out for on TikTok Day and the Festival of Enormous Changes at the last minute. And hopefully your New Year's resolution wasn't to start a new diet, because January 2nd is National Buffet Day. And if you use your cheat day on the second day of your diet, then your resolution probably won't make it through the end of the year. That's probably how this day got started. After spending all of January 1st eating healthy food, someone just wanted to eat as much food as they possibly could. At this point, we have to be honest with ourselves about what this holiday is. Sure, if you eat some bacon on Bacon Day or some chocolate candy on National Chocolate Candy Day, you've got an excuse. But on National Buffet Day, we need to admit to ourselves that we just want to stuff ourselves with as much food as we can for $11.99 with free refills on your large diet soda. If you're having a hard time sticking to your diet, just think about how similar a buffet table is to a trough for fattening up farm animals. It's all going to start looking a lot less appetizing. If you do celebrate National Buffet Day, hopefully we eat so much food that you get really sleepy, because January 3rd is Festival of Sleep Day. What a way to start the new year off, eating all day the 2nd and sleeping all day the 3rd. And it happens again and again every year, and people wonder why their bad habits never change. That being said, I like eating and sleeping, so I'm not going to complain that much. Luckily this year, Festival of Sleep Day is on a Saturday, so hopefully you won't be working and can sleep in and celebrate. But you don't want to sleep through all day on January 3rd, or you'll miss Fruitcake Toss Day. Finally, the day I've been waiting for. The tradition of the fruitcake is that it keeps getting regifted from person to person because no one actually wants it. I say regifted, but I really should say reburdened. This is your chance to end that tradition. Just throw it away with the rest of the garbage. And as your fruitcake sits there in the garbage, take a minute to appreciate garbage men. They really take the cake. And then you can go back to celebrating Festival of Sleep Day. Assuming you didn't sleep through the entire weekend, you'll be waking up on one of our more trivial holidays. January 4th is National Trivia Day, and now you'll be able to answer what day is National Trivia Day. Also coming up this week, we have Unlucky Day on December 31st, which I unluckily couldn't think of anything to say about it. We also have Make Up Your Mind Day on the 31st, which I couldn't decide what I wanted to say about it. And last but not least, we have National Spaghetti Day on January 4th. I didn't know what to say about it, so let's just move past to it. With December coming to an end, so ends our Decembeards. But don't take out those razors yet, because we're just beginning Manuary. I'd also like to wish a fond farewell to National Eggnog Month, which helped make National Stress-Free Family Fun Month a little more fun. In addition, I'm saying goodbye and good riddance to National Fruitcake Month. If you're worried about National Eggnog Month coming to an end and no longer having an excuse to drink, don't worry. While January isn't the month of any sort of alcohol, it is National Blood Donor Month, and having blood taken can cause many of the same effects as alcohol. But if that doesn't sound as good too, January is also National Soup Month. Open up a can of tomato soup, pour in some vodka, lemon juice, and add a piece of bacon, and you've got a Bloody Mary. You don't even have to get that complicated if you don't want to. If you pour it into a bowl and heat it up, it's basically a soup. And finally, January is also National Thank You Month. I'd like to say thank you to all of you who watch my videos, and I can't wait till next year. That's all I have for you right now. Leave a comment down below saying how you'll be celebrating this week, as well as what your New Year's resolution is, and be sure to like and subscribe. I'm Elijah King saying, it doesn't matter if you're drinking sparkling wine or champagne, as long as it gets you drunk and tastes good. Happy holidays.